Unbelievable! I feel great!
We made it, and we're recording, and we're live. I have been really eager to get you online. We've all been on a crazy journey, I think, and it's gonna be a great exchange just to set things straight and maybe, you know, how can I say, look back at the past months and see what we can learn from them. Yeah, and have a great freaking chat. There's a lot of things happening around the world, and you know, you also went through some health issues, and I'm just glad to see you well, man. See you well, swagging up with the shirt. It looks sunny out there. Where are you at currently?
Oh, I'm actually in my room.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Are you in Paris, or are you still down in the south of France?
Yeah, I'm still south of France.
I'm jealous, man. I'm missing the ocean.
Oh, dude, yeah. The quality of life here is like, so it's on another level.
So what have you been up to, man, in the past weeks?
I went to Eindhoven for some weeks to see my girl, and had to train a little bit there with Kenji and Silverman and the whole community out there. It was pretty nice.
Oh, nice.
And, even though like they had restrictions and stuff like that, they had no lockdown or anything. So we had some cool free session and open session. And yeah, I came back, stayed a little bit in Paris on my way down, and I'm here. Yeah, it's been like a little more than 2 weeks, and just a regular grind. Like I'm passing my driving license these days.
Yes, nice to hear that. Nice to hear that.
Yeah, it's never too late, I guess.
Especially now with this whole madness in the world, I think the biggest thing what I learned is to claim self-reliance and self-sufficiency and not be dependent on any, you know, external things, or as less as possible, you know.
Totally. Yeah, it's about becoming independent in so many ways, anyway. And yeah, like training a little bit. I have my garden trampoline, so that
the 420.
Yeah, the 420, exactly. I kick some flips sometimes on it, and
oh, nice.
That's all these days of a weird time.
But I'm glad to hear that you went for training and stuff, because I remember when you sent me the picture recently, you know, and the stuff with your lungs happened, and just to see you like revived and resurrected and energized, really gives me also energy back, you know, because
thank you, man. That's really good to hear. Like, 'cause it really happened overnight. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing or it existed at all. And I don't know, for those like that are watching, it's pretty much one of the lungs that somehow gets the membrane on the lungs that pop for some reason, and sometimes it's a shock, or sometimes it's like any accident, and sometimes it's just happen for no reason, like out of a certain condition, or the membrane being in some ways I don't really know. And so yeah, I just woke up with it, and the syndromes like really look like COVID, to be honest. So I felt like it was just this. So I quarantined myself for a few days, and then after a few days I was like, damn, it's just not getting any better. I can't even breathe. And yeah, I went to the hospital, and like in really half an hour they were like, okay, you had this, you need a small surgery, and the whole thing just happened. They stayed at the hospital for like 4 days, something like that, just to see how it was going, because I had they put me into a tube, like in the lung, or not really in the lung, but just outside, in order to pull the air back, in order for the lungs to gain air again. and yeah, that was it. And actually, the hardest part was the recovery time, because I had full possibility of everything, but I had to do nothing. You know, when you break your leg, you have like that cast or anything that like physically doesn't allow you to do any moves, you know, or just stand or anything. And weirdly enough, like being able to do anything but not you don't have to do it is one of the hardest things.
What kind of pain was that? You know, like lung pain. How can you describe that?
It's called a pneumothorax, by the way. And yeah, he just gives you chest pain pretty much, and low breathing. And I didn't have like so much fever, but it was hard to sleep. And at the end of it, just before I went to the hospital, the heart started like pumping up like way harder than usual to get the blood going, you know.
Man, it's good to have you back. You know, you've been a big inspiration since we met in Cape Town, man. And you know, yeah,
that was awesome, by the way. I can't wait to go to Quebec.
Yeah, I can't wait to travel. You know, I've just recently watched the WOW Sports event in St. Petersburg, the live stream. Yeah, amazing. I mean, amazing what they put up there, like the setup, the stream, the cameras, just the energy. You know, like it makes me miss tricking events, and you know, just it's videos is nice to see stuff on videos, but just the energy you really gather seeing it live, and
it's a whole different experience.
Definitely. It lasts for way longer. Like I have a feeling that those videos, they're way more short term, but like real life events, they shape you for way longer, and just sticks with you, you know, for more long term. So I think that's very important to revive that, and to see Russia push it and do it free and non-profit, and just bring everybody together, and like bring Velu on for judging, Alexander on for judging, Wujin from Korea as judge, and it was just a really good event. I suggest everybody to check it out. It's like archived on the YouTube, and it's like 3 hours of tricking, intermediate battles, chicks. You know, they throw down Slava is just everybody's having fun, you know, and just to see everybody come together, really like, and yeah, it's made me so happy this weekend. And now talking to you also, it's amazing.
Pretty awesome. I'm gonna watch it. Like I haven't been so much into watching tricking lately, but I really feel like to watch this one at least.
Yeah.
A sampler of Ethan Turner.
I also only reached 1 hour 40 or 1 hour 42 of it, but I was live chatting with the guys. Even Plan Zero came online, and like it was nice to chat, you know, just also to speak to the people in this live chat. It was hype. It was a nice experience. But but yeah, man, what I wanted to share with all of the listeners and people that don't know your journey and your background more in detail, and what actually inspired me also to do some things and look into it, because at the end we can learn from each other so much, you know, like everybody can take some pieces and see if you can apply it, and if it increases your just overall life. It's not only about tricking. So
totally.
Remember back then you spoke about Vipassana and meditation retreats, and just in general, man, you remind me of stuff I done myself a lot, to seek, travel around and learn from as many different people as possible. I know you visited even like Slava up there in Russia. You went to Australia for quite a long time. You've been on the pilgrimage, and I think it's important to share it with the community that to see what you what you lived through, and what shaped your tricking skill, life, and yeah, just in general, talk about some of those things.
Okay. I feel like it's as a like I will go a little deep, but that's I feel like the foundation, and I'll go in detail after that. But it's all about growing at the end. Like everyone is growing. We're here on this planet to live our life the best way possible. So what worked for me was just go see the world, go meet planet Earth. Like so go out and see what happened and meet the people you need to meet. And so I started traveling by myself in my early 20s. And as I started to get into tricking more and more and more, I mixed the two. Like I started like just traveling for tricking, and then after that, tricking like actually gave me back so many travels around the world, and that's the way I kept myself motivated. I feel like I had a lot of periods where it was good to have a routine and be home and just like train something more regular in more regular manner. But what worked the best for me is just to go out there, meet the people, meet the communities, like train with them, train different places, and just that's how I got the most out of tricking and learning and growing in many ways.
And actually, let me share. Oh no, host disabled participant. Can you give me maybe permission for screen sharing too? While
of course.
Yeah. Maybe you can just click on my participant thing. Yeah, I wanted actually to go through some moments in the past years of your journey and ask you questions about exactly those events. Like there was some samplers I really enjoyed that you shared on your channel. There was the circumstances doesn't matter, the state of mind does. That's probably the time where you trained more regular in your home place, and you've been grinding hard, and
I'd always have been fascinated by how things happen, and what the fuck is this whole thing in a general manner. And so it gets really deep by sometimes, but at the end, learning about the things and being more open to the things, and in parallel going through heavy tricking training and thinking like mostly about this, I made a lot of it was more than just practicing flipping. I try to sing in a more whole manner, yeah, that's what happened when around this sampler. What was it called? I don't remember. Very sore session.
Exactly, very sore sessions. Really good hip hop tune. I just want to share my screen, and because that's how I made my reference.
Yeah. Sorry.
All good.
Participants, and
then maybe enable screen sharing or something like this. Is that option?
No, I don't see anything like that, but I can give you permission to do all the things.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest. Here we go, powerful. You should now see the screen as well. Here we go. Perfect. Let's go through some couple of things that maybe the community are interested. Yeah, that was the very sore sessions thing. That's what I'm talking about. What inspired me a lot, back then, I remember I saw this sampler and I'm like, damn, the French legend is grinding, and like some samplers like Promises and what they meant back then, like talk about Promises, and then the Insanity. There's so many samplers that I still from time to time love to watch and study, because in my opinion, I like to study or it makes just sense to study people with similar physique. Then you can pick up the flow, the rhythm. So
it's easier to identify for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it makes no sense for me to study Ilya, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch, but
it's different.
It's different for sure.
So I wanted to talk about some of those, what did promises mean to you, like this sampler especially?
It actually means a lot, to be honest, because I was grinding really hard in Bergen. I spent like few months at my good friend's place, Kim, and it's in Bergen, and they have that facility called FISAC, which is an open gymnastic place, open every day for everyone for free. Like it's visionary, it's like futuristic. And I was training really hard, and my friend Laurent Pouzin came by for a week to see me and train. And we had that crazy session where we just brought the best out of each other, and I don't know if it was explicit, but we kind of made that promises, like to keep going and keep trying hard every day, like to keep that flame that we had at that session like going.
I see. And even I think that's a legendary gym. I remember the samplers also from Wingen, which was also a huge inspiration.
For sure.
He shaped like that flow style in my eyes as well, like Anis, with that nice swing flow that looks just easy and efficient. And that's what I also have to say about you. If we look at some of your swings, they're like floaty, your eagle is nice, you know, especially your corks and stuff like this. So what made you, in your opinion, what made them so good, you know, like your swings especially? What do you think was your key to unlock nice eagle and swings?
Practice a shitload, because it was definitely not my
strength.
My strength for sure. Like it was almost like a weak point when I started tricking. I couldn't flip for shit. I was terrible at swinging. Could barely do a cork, and still like being able to do like a cheat 9 hyper or cheat 10, because most of the thing that I did from my first 3 years of tricking was only kicking, only kicking, doing basic flipping stuff like B-twist and aerial and card falls and stuff. But at first I was mostly about kicking and learning that approach. And suddenly I was like, damn, I actually wanted to be like better at tricking. Like that's something I really want to do. And I just started grinding really hard. Like it took me years. Like I started the swinging grind in Australia actually with Scott Skelton. He told me, he told me a lot. He told me a lot about his way, and I don't know if he made up some stuff or if it was like, I don't know. It was actually real stuff that he told himself, but he taught me in many ways his vision of swinging, and he made so much sense to me. Like I don't know if he made it up for me because he felt that was a good thing to say to me at that moment in order to understand the techniques and stuff, or if it was what he said to him, what he says to himself. Sorry. I don't know if it was clear, but yeah, and I started just grinding every day, every training, like do swings at the beginning, at the end of session, and yeah, like swinging corks, swinging Gunner switches. Later on, I did the same for front swings as well, because it's totally part of swinging. And yeah, like, and actually, that's what I got the most out of tricking after that. Like that was one of the things that I enjoyed the most doing, and I got so much fun from swinging. You just feel like flying, like, and you keep the momentum going, and yeah, it feels very nice. You're not even thinking about what you what you do. Like it's just you keep flowing. It's a really nice feeling. I really like. That's why I did them a lot after that.
And I mean, before you started the kick and grind, and then later you opened up, I mean, into the swing game through Australia, and grinded with the Mr. Double ABCDG ABCDGEF.
Yeah, they're all
all the letters. You did also quite a while, like a conditioning grind, you know, like getting buff and stuff. I remember you talked about that. So
yes.
How much you think is general conditioning also a part of like the whole picture coming together, you know? Like I do believe especially like physique is a very crucial part, and like you said also, of course, the visualization, the feeling, just emotional feeling your body. I mean, that's all little pieces that you know come together. But I remember you mentioned like you've been also on like a crazy conditioning grind at the beginning. So
yeah, because I started by feeling like tricking will be enough, and I quickly realized that conditioning is really important if you want to like push yourself to like other plateaus or the next level. You need a body that can handle more training in order to learn more, and that's the way you condition. Like the way I conditioned back then was like not as good. Like I took a lot of muscles. I was pretty big and a little heavier, but I was really powerful, and I ended up like injuring myself really bad. Like I broke my ankle because everything felt really easy, but I had no control over my body. So I didn't do the conditioning, and I could have done the thing better. That's why like it's important to say that you need to go slow. I went too fast on the conditioning, and too low on the making the body adapt to the new body for tricking. And so like I took risk, and it ended up bad. But I think it's really important to shape yourself for making the training more and more efficient if you want to. So conditioning, it's a really good thing. And through the years I learned that conditioning can be many things. It can be done in many ways, and you don't have to get bored by it or do things that are like really like basic repetition of one movement, like just push-ups or just pull-ups. You can go in so many ways. I like to have fun when I condition now, so I found ways in order for me to forget that I'm actually conditioning and just like being concentrated on other things, or climbing, or more mobility and movement based than just like really conditioning like the whole ways, like at the gym and pushing heavy.
Like you now these days, you don't have a fixed routine, but you still have in the back of your mind that you need to maintain, you know, that fortified physique in order to still have fun and throw down and tricking. That's great to hear, because I know a lot of people like for me, I'm kind of the guy. I don't mind having a regular routine to keep everything.
That's really good. I wish I could.
Yeah, in place. But I spoke to a lot of people. You know, some are just they like to do different things. They get bored. So hearing that from you and sharing it, it's great, because there are many different ways. You know, you can probably also, if you don't have to do box jumps, you can just do a session with a friend and do a little bit of parkour basics or something like this. You know, I do understand. But I just wanted to make it maybe a little bit more clear to some of the listeners. I mean, I don't mind. I mean
that's. I think it's really important. Like some periods of my life, I did the air alert, the third.
I did it too with the pistols. Pistols and the ridiculous amount of color phrases and jumps.
Yeah, exactly. Like the 3 sets of 300
basketball grind.
And you know, it's repetitive, but I had so much result from it that I kept going anyway, because what I enjoyed was the result at the end more than the process.
Same.
But at the end, what matters is what makes you feel good and being in shape, and so you can like go on and keep exploring.
And like these days, how does your training look like? I mean, if you, let's say you would have a regular week again, how would you shape it? How would an ideal week look for you, going in and just, you know,
About tricking?
about tricking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tricking.
No, nowadays, it like the perfect set would be 3 sessions a week, where there will be one session that I would keep once in a while, and I would feel pretty much fresh every time I go trick. And I would just literally go with whatever feels right about the moment. So I would just take my time to warm up, and sometimes it's more like combos based or more like technical based. Sometimes it would be like more like swings. I don't like, especially during winter, like I have that hibernation mode where like half of the power I feel usually is gone. Sorry. And so I rather do like more chill stuff. And
So more
yeah.
fundamentals and stuff like this. Basically,
Yeah,
like
more-
a winter cleaning hibernation mode.
Exactly, but there's still sometimes you know, just do original like combos, trying to mix like weird 3-hitters and I get, it's been a few years that I get a lot of energy from the people I'm with during the session. Like earlier in my years, I could go by myself in the middle of like winter and just train on hard grass and just do like a session for 2 hours, no problem. But it's totally over. These days, sometimes there is people and I train really good and I enjoy it a lot. And then if the people go away, like I just go away. It sounds kind of weak, but it makes me enjoy tricking in a different way that I'm used to, and it's like I'm seeing another aspect of it, where you actually exchange the energy, and it's not like it's not happening otherwise. It's just like I'm more focused on it these days, and I give more importance to it, at least.
I feel that, especially now after my time in Vienna, in Austria, just before they hit the second wave of lockdowns. You know, you just feel the energy. You feel when somebody is coming in and he's really hungry to throw down, and then you honor. I what I do, like if I have a weekday, I honor his hunger, and then like I at least want to provide the best I can at that day because I showed up, you know. So I definitely can relate to that. And but how does that would compare to, you know, those times where, like for instance, that video, very sore sessions, you said now like you would have 3 sessions. How much have you been training back at that time, you know, when you could train on your own? And
like at that time it was every day, almost every day. I was like looking for a spot where I train and going to see like the guardian of the place in order for me to getting and sneak my way in for like 2 hours, and I was like searching every gym around, and like a
24/7 maniac. I love it.
Yeah, like the obsessed way, for sure.
Yeah, that's good to know, because a lot of people don't know and wonder, you know, they just think like stuff is magical and people get
No, it
good,
doesn't come. Yeah, it doesn't come easy.
And but that's good to hear. And what actually interests me too is you went with Slava a while ago. You went to New York to that famous Free to Fly.
Oh yeah.
Place.
That was actually really. There's a backstory to, not to the sampler, but to our meeting. In New York. because he was doing a tour with this girl in America, and we were supposed to meet in California, but then for like some reason he couldn't make it, and so he was somewhere else in America, and ended up in New York at the time where I was about to leave. So I went to New York a little earlier so we can like see each other and just train, have a good session, and see Niels and the whole guys, the whole crew.
How was it to have this, like, it seemed like because at the beginning of this video this dude says he keeps it open for you guys. I don't know if this really was true or not, but
he totally did.
So how was it to have like a private gym session throwing down with Slava? I mean, you know Slava for quite a long time, but I really want to meet him and have a talk with him, because I remember Andre telling me that Slava is like he really is grinding, you know, when he's training, and I don't know how true it is, but you know what, I never met him, so I don't know him in person, so maybe you can tell about his like training ethic, his vibe, his sessioning, you know, just the jamming in as a whole, you know.
Honestly, to me, like Slava is as some genius, like to him, like he just trained really hard and understand things like really fast, and he has a very, I don't know, very controlled and yet powerful approach of his tricking and his body. And I don't know, like there's many things that I don't know about how he sees himself training, but I've trained with him like many times. I went to Siberia with him. Like, he's a really good friend. I miss him a lot, actually. I wish I can go back to Siberia soon, which I will.
If you go, please let me know, man. I want to make a trip there too. After seeing that St. Petersburg event and all the Russians throwing down and just everybody having fun, it just made me like want to experience Russia, Siberia, and you know, the famous place of the Russian slayers. You know, it must be a powerful place. The energy and just the guys there, man. I can envision it to be very great.
For them, it's just home, you know. But I think they realize a bit that it's a kind of a legendary place, like for most of the communities, because of the level they reached in this like gym, and the amount of amazing trickers there is. And I don't know, like it's cool. Like it's like in Pokemon, it's a new arena. Like
it is the legendary arena, especially. I mean, even females now from this place are like some of the best females. You know, it just
Aliona
speaks for man. She's so good. Actually, I like studying some of her stuff, because she's not working with power. She's really working with technique, and she has to use her body in the right way and keep momentum going more than just relying on pure muscle. So it's inspiring. Yeah. She's better than really most of the dudes, and she's strong, you know.
For sure. What I think it's really impressive is the consistency, because she was already training hard when I was there. Like it was in 18 or 17, I don't know, but like a few years ago, and it looks like she's still going hard at it, like and keep like grinding and keep like looking for more and being hungry. And the consistency is like really, it's one of the most impressive things for me.
Yeah, she seems very hungry. I do follow her on YouTube especially, and try to watch her samplers whenever she puts something out. It's pretty nice to see, you know, like I guess it will also give hope to possibly new generation for female trickers.
Totally.
She's definitely opening that gate, which is beautiful to see.
Totally, but I feel like that's what everyone's waiting. Like not waiting, but it's good that it's happening there. So it's good that like there is girl that just want to push hard and inspire other girls to just do whatever they can to push through.
I do believe it just proves the efficiency of the Russian style from Siberia. You know, even the Russian arm lift with the cheat nines, and it just shows, okay, if females can do it, then it must be efficient and the right one of the right ways. I mean, there are many ways, but it does work. It seems to work.
Yeah, and they have a really strong sense of training and of being like persistent and diligent about like going to training hard, no matter what it feel like. You just go and do.
Must be that Siberian tough spirit, because I'm experiencing it now in Serbia. I mean, since moving to Cape Town like 8 years ago, I haven't really experienced cold, but the cold in Siberia must be crazy. So you cannot waste any time, and I think that speaks for it, because the people just get tougher. You gotta get shit done, and life is more raw and more violent, I would say.
For sure. That's actually pretty crazy. I had this discussion with a friend the other day, like how the temperature and the amount of sun affects the psyche of the people, like the way they think, totally. The way they are, and that's pretty impressive. That's this relationship. Yeah, but they are definitely like hard worker, like hardworking people, like.
And if you really if you go there, let me know. I really want to experience that, man. I would appreciate
I'll let you know.
Be grateful forever. So I'm actually saving funds for my next travel, and I just figured out that with my passport I can actually enter Russia without a visa. So I want to make.
Oh, nice. Yes, because the visa is the worst part of going to Russia.
Yeah, I heard so, and I heard so. And man, like I wanted to talk about some other things as well. I just lost my line of thought. But mostly, like, how was it to be there in Siberia for you? How much time did you spend up there?
I was there for 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
That's a good time.
Yes, that's true. I would have stayed longer if I could, but there's a certain amount of time you can stay, and like the visa thing is just like crazy. And yeah, it was awesome. Like it was really like such a good trip. I met so many awesome. I was kind of, like. That sounds cliche, but I was expecting, like the steps and not really, but like more like a traditional Siberian like image that we have from over here.
From television.
Yeah, and it's just it's like a full-on city, like way bigger than where I live, and there's many things that are like. That have popped to me, like the roads are destroyed. There's holes everywhere, and everyone is just like, driving around the holes. And but no, the community is just amazing. Just awesome people. Slava just set me so well. Like really, did everything like right. We had session. We went around. We see the nature. We had some fun chilling. One time we were smoking in his car at the bottom of the building where I was staying, and there's a small car coming and parking a little further on the parking, and then one guy came out and he used his phone. He's calling someone, and then suddenly two girls, like very like with really almost nothing, wearing almost nothing or very little, and those two guys coming out the building, and he was pretty much like arranging, and the two girls like goes with the two guys going in the building and money exchange and the whole thing. And as we were smoking, like Slava looked at me and he was like, so many illegal things happening right now. He's
a legend, man. He's currently, I just followed his Instagram, and I can see him with like a van traveling through. He was actually pretty close out here to Serbia, like 1,100 kilometers. It's like a 10-hour, 11-hour drive from Belgrade. So I'm like, yo, dude, come over, visit Serbia, because this guy was on the grind. He was driving. It was nice to see.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it for sure.
It's the right thing to do.
For sure. Like the van life, I don't know. I'm totally going into this as soon as possible.
And that's a good transition to the topic, because we just spoke recently about it about now it's an art to actually escape lockdowns and try to be as self-reliant as possible, independent as possible. You know, like I actually want to go learn to hunt, because I'm going like worst case. If tomorrow stores close, everything closes, I want to at least be able to catch my own animals and survive, or be able to have some real life skills, because we're in a time where stuff like this is very necessary, and seeing Slava do that road tripping, it's also like you get pushed out of your comfort zone. You gotta learn to cope with uncomfortable situations. It's a good thing to do, you know. Totally.
It's traveling, but traveling with your home pretty much. So it just give you everything that travels gives you, but with the comfort of being able to stay wherever you want to stay. And I love this because the lifestyle I like. I'm like more like a nomad. So I love this, but I think everyone would benefit to go
at least once as an experience. Totally. Sam Kojo did it also. I saw that, yes. And it must be really great and put things in perspective that we think we have for granted, you know.
Totally. And in the longer term, you're totally right. Like I think that's the revolution that's everyone's waiting on. Is just like everyone realizing that you need to realize the impact you have on the external world, like on everything around. And if you start like being more respectful of the environment, more respectful of what you eat for yourself, of the air you breathe, of the water you drink, it's like the very small stuff. It's very basic, but it will make a total difference. And when you do your garden, for example, and when you just grow your own stuff, when you more in touch with whatever makes you realize that you don't need anything else at the end.
You don't need much.
You don't need much. And it's good to have passion. Sometimes like people like have passion that gets them out of being able to grow their own food or stuff like that, and I totally understand. But you gotta realize what's your impact and where you're putting your effort and attention into. What makes a difference, and it's the individual effort on the collective mass that will actually, I think, make us not going to the point where we will have to hunt for our own food, or to be able to not to be able, but to end up being in the wood, making like a wooden cabin and live there for the rest of our lives, and trying to kill zombies or stuff like that. I mean, I hope we won't have to do this, but if you have to.
But you know, I said I rather be prepared for even if it doesn't happen, just to have it mentally in front of you. You know that you're fortified and ready if it comes to it. It doesn't need to, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And I realized it more than ever, you know, just like after in Cape Town, I never had this thought, you know, because in Cape Town, it's always good weather, warm. Stuff is always accessible, comfortable, nice. But now coming to Serbia, seeing like -degrees, stuff freezing up, and the only thing you find outside are some sort of animals, like a rabbit, a deer, a wild pig, a fish, whatever. And I realized, wait, if I would need really to survive out here, I would need to be able to hunt. So I realized, okay, then maybe it's a good skill to have, even if I don't need to use it. Why
Totally,
not have it?
totally.
And my dad and my neighbors, they showed me the way. I'm like, I felt like less of a man not being able to hunt. So I'm like, it was against my pride. I'm like, no, I gotta learn that stuff now.
I'm seeing this, but I think it's really good. Like I'm not eating so much meat these days, but if you want to eat meat, or if you need to eat meat, or if you like, that's what your environment is providing to you. I feel like it's the best way is to kill the animals for you, and to realize that it's food. It's like for you, it's like an exchange.
It's a different relationship also.
Exactly, because like a lot of people like are buying stuff at the supermarket without any idea it was actually an animal, behind it, and he was killed.
And you don't appreciate it. I see people sometimes throwing away a piece of, I don't know, like a burger or a piece of any sort of meat, but when you go hunt on your own and kill the animal, you realize how much nutrition you have in front of you, and for how long you just have a different appreciation for every piece of it, because you can take the liver, freeze it, and then your family stuff but like from the supermarket, and then people throw stuff, you don't appreciate it the same way. If you have a way closer connection and way more spiritual connection to actually, I spoke to guys, and then they said, even killing the animal and then it's a complete different, you killed the animal, you prepared it, and then it gives you life. It provides you with all the nutrients you need, and you appreciate every single bit of it. It's a complete different take than just going to the store and you buy a piece of, you don't know where it comes from, you don't know anything about it, so totally. It gets you way more in touch with nature and some sort of real cycle of life and death, and the transfer of life to other life, basically. And I just realized it more than ever, being here in Serbia and seeing that like everything is eaten, the heart, the brain, like nothing is being wasted. And that's why they have a way different approach to animals and eating meat. You're not like luxury, spoiled and say, no, I just want that nice cut of whatever. No, you might not have anything else tomorrow, so you appreciate any single piece of it. And I think it's good to experience that and just to see that. So I'm actually happy that I'm kind of stuck now in a colder place.
That's a really good thing, and it's part of the thing, like the realization of the impact you have on the environment, and that's definitely one of the things. That's one of the aspects, and it's definitely proof of a better understanding of environment.
Totally. And just like the cycle, imagine a whole cow out here can feed a family for half a year sometimes, and it's one, but for a half a year and a whole family. But how much, look at those supermarkets in Europe, and how much is wasted of it's life that is wasted. And exactly. I think if we just change that perspective then, and create a better relationship with like meat and animals and just nutrition and food, it's just gonna get more in balance, and everybody is just gonna appreciate life more, man. I think totally. That's the thing.
That's the end of the line. I mean, at the end, what makes you live better and keep growing, anyways.
Man, it was freaking great to catch up with you. What are you up to for the next couple of weeks? Like now, I don't know how the situation is in France. I heard they started burning stuff in Paris because they tried to change some laws with police and stuff like this. What are your plans for the next couple of months? Like, situation is unpredictable, but I always feel like it's good to see where it could head, so that we make plans together and share them with the world, so that maybe people get a perspective.
I'm down. Like throughout this whole thing, I feel like what's good is to stay centered, and to not get below with the wind of everything that's happening, and just like you know a guy like Bashar, he's doing like lectures, and he's saying like stay in the eye of the storm, because that's where the peace is at. And that's why I don't watch like news most of the time. I don't get too involved in what's happening or the last details or anything, because at the end it's just how you live your life and what you can bring to the world. So there's already so much battles going on inside my head. So why would I go outside and fight for whatever
reason? You gotta conquer yourself. You gotta conquer yourself every day. Why should I conquer? I understand, man.
And there's so many stuff that I actually believe in, but I don't want to go in the street and burn things or they.
I respect those people, because at
totally.
the end they also fight for us. Because if tomorrow they really decide independent streamers, like imagine now you get your phone and you go on the street and just do a YouTube live stream, but suddenly a cop appears, then you are not allowed to have the police officer inside the stream, and it's not gonna get published. So there will be more and more restrictions about real informations and real happenings in the world. So I respect all of the people in France fighting for it, because if it goes down in France, I expect other countries to follow. So somehow the French people are holding the line, and yeah, it's violent and they're burning shit and stuff is going crazy. But if nobody
like this, we like burning things and being unhappy about every unfairness. But the thing is, like, there's so many unfairness about so many things. I don't want to get political, but like at some point it's just funny, almost funny how they care about the people. so I'm just like, hey, listen guys, I'm not gonna let you run my life or decide what I will do, what I should do, or how I'm supposed to live my life. I'll just do the best I can in my style, and if you guys wanna do whatever you do, whatever, like push any law or do anything that became like tyrannical or anything, I'll let them do, because at some point I know that I'll be able to live my life in other ways. And
it's interesting though to see like different reactions across different nations. Like for instance, to round it up, like in Germany, they will just let themselves be locked for however, they said, the political parties and the chancellor said, okay, in December you're gonna have your freedoms. Oh, now it's 10th of January. Maybe you will have your freedom. Oh, maybe only in spring, or maybe only for Eastern. So it's a dirty game, but the people don't really react to it, because they have this comfort of like those richer countries like Germany or stuff where you have public funds available where they will support you with apartment or any sort of funds so that you can at least buy foods. So then the bar is very low to actually go violent, because you will still get your food, and even if you're locked anyways, you don't have to really work because they will provide you the necessary things. But like in Serbia, for instance, if they do that, there is no like 400 euro a month or 350 euro a month. So the people will go and freaking burn the government building down if they do shit like this. So the government said they're gonna do it, but then, or they actually did it, but then the people reacted. So they realized, okay, we can't push the people so far. Then they did a step back, and they just so the people showed, okay, here's the clear line. I want to keep my freedoms. I want to provide for my family. You can't take it away because you're not giving anything in exchange. So it's just interesting to witness this perspective. So if people show action and resistance, then they are not able to cross those lines. But if there's no resistance, they will just cross the line because there is nobody showing any action.
Yes, for sure. It's good to show that you're not going with it, and what matters is action. I just don't think that going in the streets and literally showing. You have to be two to have a war or fight. Like if one of the two party is not fighting, there is no fight. But my point is, you don't have to go on the streets to prove that you're not how to say this,
that you're not complying with the measures, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
I know that
for example,
there are more smarter ways. And
Yeah.
Netherlands, for instance, I know what's your point, because you don't have to get violent and destroy things, because at the end it's also a negative, how can I say, deed or a negative action, because you harming stuff, you burning stuff, you yourself will get injured. You
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love burning stuff and like going ham and just
but there are other ways. For instance, Netherlands said you can do it more peacefully. You can still say no, I'm not complying. I'm gonna keep my restaurants open. Put me to jail or give me any fines, but I keep my restaurants. There are other ways. Maybe you don't have to get violent. I get your point, and I agree with that. And I like that. For instance, Netherlands announced recently that. They will, if they don't open up, there are many, like over 100 restaurants in one city or across Netherlands. They said, no, we're gonna just open up, even if we get consequences like jail or fines. And it's more about this thing that people will stick together, and
and realize they have the power.
Exactly. And there are better ways. You don't have to burn stuff. I agree.
But if it's happening, means that people have that thing they need to put out, like and break things and like show them they disagree and the whole thing, and that's all well and good. I'm not judging, but I think that's not the way I would do it, because there's so many things, just not buying Coke is a more rebellious hack than going in the street. And
of course there are smarter ways you can. For sure. I get you.
Stuff like that.
I get you. To round it up, I want to recommend everybody. First of all, you two. So this is the WoW Sports Tricking Battle 2020. I reached only 1 hour 40 something. It is hype. Check out also your samplers. Everybody that was listening that doesn't know you, maybe. But it would be a mistake not to know the French legend, man. I'm really I cannot wait to train with you, travel again, and do stuff. And
Dude,
check out
for sure.
People should also check out your Instagram for sure. I will put everything into the description of this live stream. And that being said, man, we gotta stay smart, independent. And like you love to say, is away from the drama, because we have own fights to fight on our own, and that is sometimes more than enough.
Because I guess that's what we share. We can share with the world after that. Like if everyone's like cleaning his own door, the world is clean.
Yes. We went all through things, did different shit, messed up, learned from. So many lessons and circumstances. Sometimes, even everybody at some point lied, not only to himself, but maybe also to others or everybody, but that's I think the greatest gift we have is to share those moments and then just try to grow through them. And
for sure.
Resonate with each other, learn from each other, man. Like for me, it really like, I'm thankful that I met you and could learn from
me too,
your
dude.
perspectives, and do more in stuff like this in the future. I just had recently a nice talk with Florian Gems from Germany. You must know him.
For sure.
The German tank, the powerhouse, And I said we must do more stuff, events, and bring people again together, and let's see what
that will happen,
positive change, what positive tires we can burn and throw around.
Exactly. And after those moments where the whole world is kind of on a low point, it will come back strong for sure. And for everything in general, but for tricking mostly, I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way and will want to do more crazier events.
Yeah, and support each other. At the end, man, there shouldn't be any hate or any, it's all, we have all been struggling, suffering, and it should just, the lowest point should just encourage us to go outside, and everybody just kills their own dragons, masters their own demons, and then you come out together and we all can get out of this like heroes. I think we all need lows like this to realize our real power, and in real darkness we find our real light, and if you never went dark enough you cannot see the brightest light. I think
for sure, man. You said it all.
Man, thank you. That was a blessing. That gave me hope to smash the remaining week out here in Serbia. Yes. And damn, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. No, my pleasure.
Ustani magla, padna